So, welcome to Gabiley Hospital. We are now going through the front gate. Here we arrive into the courtyard. To the right here is the finance department in the first office. Then we have OPDs up for under 5s. The office next to it is the outpatient department for adults. The door right in the corner belongs to the office of Dr. Dacre, and next to it, we can see Alex measuring there, is the emergency department. Over here to the left are doctors' consulting rooms, and then over here we have the to the left is the laboratory, and to the right in that building is a pharmacy. As we move around here, we have the male ward, and then later on next to it, or indeed opposite it, we have the orthopedic unit for children. Behind each of these wards are fairly rudimentary toilets. Going back into the main courtyard, turning round, we can see the parking facilities for the ambulances and of course the outer wall. If we follow through here, going back to where we were coming through the main entrance, we can go towards the emergency department. Once again, as we can see in the corner of the building here, ambulances, presumably if they were available, would then arrive, and we would then go through here to the hospital units. And I am accompanied very kindly by Dr. Dacre here, who is looking to see what's going on, and we move then through to the inner courtyard and the various wards. On the left we have a female ward, which is large. It has an office inside, obviously to deal with administration. Turning round here is the maternity ward, and here is the back of the emergency department. This is the section that needs to be extended, and measurements will be taken today to deal with that. Looking in fact at the size of it, we can see the opportunities we would have to join both buildings. As we move down, we move then towards the operating theatres, I should say, at the back here towards the back of the courtyard. The various units that you can see are made of bricks, are simply to allow trees to grow, and the bricks are there to stop obviously the goats eating the small shoots of the trees. Moving down now again, as I say, towards the operating theatre, we can see a new building being developed here right at the back on the right, and that is in fact, with a shining roof there, going to be a psychiatric unit. The operating theatres are in this building. This is the first one. It is obviously a clean area. You can see perhaps the shoes in the doorway here, so it's not a room that I'm afraid I can go into without taking my shoes off. It is, however, well constructed. Doors are reasonably wide, washing facilities for the surgeons, male and female, in 2 different rooms. We go out again back into the light, and we can see once again trees are being planted and so on. This is another one of the operating theatres, and right at the end here we have the conference room. This is some discussion involved with should the conference room be attached in the same building as the operating theatre. Turning round, we can have some idea of the size of the courtyard of the hospital. Space is clearly not a problem. The new buildings, as I mentioned earlier, that are going up are the psychiatric units. Moving across, the gentlemen that are coming here now, 3 of them are in fact involved at this moment in dealing with the electrical supply. The 2 buildings in front of me here are the private wards. They consist of 4 rooms each with 2 beds, one for the patient, one for a relative. The cost of these is approximately $4 per room per day. and as is normal, food would be brought in by relatives and so on. By turning the camera around, we can see at the end of the courtyard, in a corner there, the larger building that we see is the X-ray department. It is closed, we can't get any closer to it. The smaller building next to it is housing the two generators, one of which works and one doesn't. Again, we can see the size of the courtyard by panning round to see the relationship to the back of the maternity ward. Turning round once again, don't forget the operating theatre is now on my right. Passing through the main area of the hospital, we can now pass through without, I hope, bumping into Hassan, but if we carry on through, I now move on to the area that consists of both the laundry and a fairly small canteen for the hospital. You can see the situation that we have here. There is a garden area, it's not particularly well cared for, and there are certain problems that we have in terms of medical rubbish that appears to be lying around. This is not a major issue, but it's probably something that could be addressed later on in terms of training. Moving to this area now, we can see the building in front of me with a red roof there is the laundry area. The one next to it is the kitchen, and on the far right is a storeroom. The building further on there is, we are not entirely sure what that is. In fact, it could well be another storeroom. But walking in here now, this is where the food is cooked for the patients. 20 to 30 meals a day. The cooking facilities are fairly basic. Salam alaikum. And the ladies here are working, preparing their food, and we can see the space that we have. Okay. Most of the food that these ladies prepare will be carbohydrate based, rice and spaghetti. Okay, that is the back of the operating theatre and the conference room. The problem that we are facing here is one to do with the size of the windows. That essentially is Gabiley Hospital. The back of the compound, as you can see, there are entrances, they are not used. This is the storeroom. Nobody seems to have a key, and the idea is people are actually rather afraid to go in there, afraid of what they might find. Okay, looking down, we can see once again the orthopedic unit on the right, male ward on the left, and in the far distance there, the pharmacy. That is essentially Gabiley Hospital.